Yo, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? This video probably gonna be as long as I'm talking. I don't know. Maybe just cut it out. Maybe let the whole thing roll. Just 'cause it's zombies. It's old school BO3. We got Keno in the background. What did I want to talk about? Okay, let's start there. Probably be like three different things I discussed, but the first one will be that my generation, so I guess Gen Z, we're facing a lot of spiritual pressure, warfare, if you will. Now, why I'm
Maybe
saying that is
someone should
simply
go turn
put
on the
because
power
of
now.
addiction,
Oh, I found the rock. Great.
drama, bad talking, backbiting, and difference of the path to success. So, let me preface, I didn't really have a
I
plan for
think
this
EMP is
video. I just
right.
wanted to
It
talk
is
for
a
a
bit
minute and
fishy.
just get some things out while I'm sitting here in my home. It sounds sweet, like chilling. But how do I start this off? Excuse me, I'm so sorry. We not editing that out though. That's one take. Spiritual warfare. Now, the reason that I guess I want to talk about this specific portion is because I've came to notice that there's a lot of things at play. You know, it's not just that my generation is lazy or they just don't want to work. It's that we see kind of the state of the world for what it is, but with that knowledge comes a different layer of, I'll use anxiety to put here. I don't want to say depression, so I'll put anxiety here. It becomes a different layer of anxiety, a different layer of, there's a confidence and a, what's the other word? There's the confidence that comes with that as well
Case
as
communist
the other side of
aggression
that
will
coin.
be
Not, I
on
can't think of the
train.
word right now, but it'll come to me soon. But you know, with having that knowledge, there's a difference of opinions. So with that difference of opinions between older generations, grandparents,
You know
parents,
how to say
aunts, all
old in
that,
Russian?
there's a
Old.
big difference in how we would handle something versus how they want something handled. Because most of the, I will say, older generation is used to, well, grandparents, mainly great grands, survival. The times they grew up in, surviving, and then finding a base that they could work off of. And then after them came the generation of, I'll go to college, get a normal job. You need these things to survive. And which is true. I will not take it from them because it is a very true thing. Then comes our generation. Oh, working for the man is, it's so slave like, you're a slave to this, and that. But in reality, you can be a slave to many things in many forms. It's not just about work, because, you know, it's easy to get a job, and it's not easy to get a job. And I'll be the person to say it. You know, I've had about 3, 4 jobs myself. Um, I have not had to switch too many times. I worked at a grocery store for some years, plasma center for some years, different fast food spots. So kind of mainly the service industry for me. You know, I don't mind dealing with people. I don't mind being a supervisor or working around different individuals of different kinds and all walks of life. I don't mind that at all. So it comes to a point where a lot of people that come from my generation deal with anxiety, deal with
Greedy
fear of
capitalist
people
dogs, give me
interacting,
ammo.
putting themselves out there, you know, things of that nature that, you know, really are kind of the baselines of life, things you kind of have to do in order to get to where you're trying to go. So, well, I almost died right there. But people focus so much on the physical aspect of this stuff that I feel like we're kind of ignoring the
Money isn't a
spiritual
problem
ramifications of
anymore.
a lot of the things that we do. So, the reason I'm even bringing that up is because, you know, I've noticed a lot in people, old, young, whatever, that the
It
way
is
we
happy
talk to people,
hour.
whether it's family or friends or whatever, a lot of a lot of comments that are made are primarily unnecessary. Or you could be opening a deep wound within somebody and not even really know it because of just the way that you choose to go about it, the way that you look at it. Oh, I meant no harm by it, but as they say, there's a little bit of truth in everything, right? That's why I don't really try to badmouth anybody or talk ill of somebody, especially if I don't know them. If I don't know you, I have nothing to say about you. But if I've gotten to know you and have an understanding of how you operate, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You may not like said truth. You may disagree with said truth.
Demon spawn!
But I go based off of your actions and the way that you choose to deal with people, the way that you operate with individuals. Those things are very important to me. Now, to get back to the point of spiritual warfare, general term being demons, devils, terms like that, which could come in the form of, what did I say earlier, addiction,
Just with the
low
doctor order.
self-esteem. That was the word I was looking for, low self-esteem. When I said confidence and the other side, low self-esteem. Because even in terms of like the workplace, different
Hey,
jobs you have,
someone
you're gonna deal
stole
with
the
people
image
that
from
are
this picture.
from among different walks of life, and with that comes more spiritual pressure or turmoil because some people, and you'll know it if you hear it, you'll know it if you see it, you'll know it if you feel it. This feeling inside of you that this person is not right. Something about this place ain't right. Or you'll know within your gut, soul, systems, whatever case you want to call it, that I shouldn't be here right now. Or you about to be around a certain friend and you get that feeling of maybe I shouldn't be around this person. That could be something they said when they did, or for Christ's sake, some people get it when it's, relationship based and they get cheated on, they feel it before they even know anything. And it's hard to differentiate what is your mind playing tricks on you versus
Getting low on
what is your gut
ammunition.
telling you. Now, I'm not gonna get into what I've been through, but I can tell you firsthand, I've kind of found a difference when it is my mind telling me something and my brain running through cycles versus me actually feeling it in my gut that something is not right. And I've said this is pretty numerous
You
different
guys hear
times in
that
my life.
voice?
These are things I just don't talk about on a regular basis because most people don't like to have these conversations or talk about these spiritual things or do any of that. And it kind of just gets to the point where I don't say as much as I used to
If I
say.
don't find
You know,
ammo, I will have to kill them with my breath.
take care of my son, do what I need to do, occasionally make the content I need to make, which I really need to get back on this because like I've been on, then I'm off, then I'm on, then I'm off. Writing music, poetry, and trying to get back to the things that I was doing before I hit these few little slumps that
When
I've
did I
hit.
run
But
out of ammo?
that's not the here nor there. Now,
He is
spiritual
persistent,
warfare. Let's get back to
like
that
the
topic.
evil
Now,
peasant.
a lot of people, Christian, and I'll speak on that because I'm not a member of any specific faith. I follow Jesus Christ. I leave it at that. I don't put the other labels on top of me because labels get real sticky, real confusing, real, you don't know where that's going to land at. So I prefer not to label myself as such, even though that is what I would be labeled as if I were to prescribe a label to myself. Um, Many times, you'll talk to somebody
I
about
found
God,
another
about
rock,
Jesus,
but
or,
no
and when
vodka.
I say God, I'm not talking about some big old white man in the sky. I'm not talking about a person. I feel like people get so fixated on it being human, not realizing
The
that
film
God is a
must have been
lot
shit.
more
This place
than
is full
just
of
a
stiffs.
human, a figure, a person, if
I
you
will
will,
cook
right?
them like a filthy
So when
capitalist
you really
pig.
think about that concept of how
Uh-oh,
God
I
is
sense
not
some
just
trouble.
like you and me, but anywhere, observant, omnipotent. I can't think of all the words right now because it's not coming to me. Omnipotent, omnipotent, all the fancy words they want to use to describe it.
Reach
But I'm
for
just gonna keep
vodka
it to a baseline to
tonight.
kind of get it across in an easier manner. God is with you at all times, going through hell or high water, or strolling through peaceful valleys. Always there, always watching over you. It just depends on how you choose to go about your relationship with God. right? Now, when I say that, I don't want you to think that you need to be perfect, because perfection does not exist. But us being imperfect doesn't make us perfect to him. You're going to make mistakes.
Vodka
You're
for
going to
everybody!
stumble. You're going to fall to different things, whether it be drinking, smoking, whether it be back talking. And I don't mean what your parents said, oh, you talking back when you just saying your opinion or trying to get clarity on something. I don't mean it like that. I mean in a
Yeah,
sense of
baby, we do the 59, eh?
in a respect basis. You're responding out of anger, out of being
See what
hard
happens when you
headed.
touch
Right,
the
right, right.
flame?
Or drama, constantly talking about other people, talking down to other people, taking advantage of other people, the many of different things that could classify as sin, adultery, theft,
Here's the last
forms
piece.
of
What do
violence.
I win?
There's a lot that goes in that category of life, evil slash bad things that you could do. But your good works alone won't save you either. It is in the sense of knowing your heart, understanding who you are as a person, and not what you've been accustomed to or forced to deal with or grown up around, what you observed so you decided to attach to it. There's many of layers and levels to go about life in many of different ways. Now, when I say my generation is going through a lot of that, I mean like I see it, not with these two eyes that I'm seeing and screaming with, but I see it. One second somebody's all good, they're getting back into their motion, and the next minute they're back down in the hole. Or
This is
they
proper
have some
socialist
bad
war.
days, they listen to some sad, depressing music because
Why
that's
am
what
I
they're accustomed
always
to and they
needing
feel
more
that
ammo?
way, and that just makes the void deeper. I'm not even gonna talk about the music, but to be honest with you, like most of the music today is actually like fucking terrible. I like a lot of the newer artists that are coming out. I don't mean the mainstream stuff like Uzi, Dirk, and all that. I don't mean them. I mean the people that you don't know. Like, example, a Dizzy A, a Daddy Stack, a Black Diamond, people like that. Devonta Rush, shout out to him too. 'Cause I throw that in there too. I really love some brothers. He's not newer by comparison to industry standards. Love bro music. But to get back to the point of what I was trying to say. Obsession with social media. We're gonna dive into that real quick because that also plays into the
Nikolai will
spiritual
show
warfare
them
side
the
of
way
things.
back to
You get
hell.
so consumed with the numbers. I need to hit this mark. I need to hit this post goal. I need to hit this, and this to be. And the thing is, you can do that. You could post every day, but there is no guarantee that you're going to get to where you're trying to get to. Maybe that's not the path you're supposed to be on, but that's the path you want to be on. You get what I'm saying here? Everybody wants something, right? New car, new house, kids, pets, job, whatever the case may be.
This is
But
proper
is that what
socialist
you
war.
need? Follow me for a minute down the road
Why
and
am I
to tell you where
always
it's going.
needing more ammo?
Like, there may be a certain job that you really want, but you could be being protected from something in that job that could cause you harm. You're like, what are you talking about? It doesn't make sense.
Gently.
You don't know everybody's intentions. You don't know how everything is going to go. Let's say you do get that dream job and things can completely go to shit right as soon as you get it, right? There's a level of understanding that not everything is meant for you, but there are things that are meant for you. You catching my drift here. Like, is your heart in the right place as you are chasing the things you are chasing?
Nikolai will show
Are you
them the
letting
way
things
back to
flow,
hell.
or are you trying to catch up to something? Do you feel you're behind? I've been guilty
Hey,
of
where's
feeling
all
like
the
I'm
ammo
behind
at?
where I should be, which in some areas I still believe that I am, but I have
I
to
think
correct
there are
myself and
dogs
say
coming
that
now.
I'm not behind. I may be lacking in certain areas, but there are people 10, 20 years older than me that are also lacking in certain areas. So in any case of the matter, the time scale that you might want to put yourself on or someone might want to put you on Everybody's process, everybody's journey, everybody's life is different, and they will operate differently. No two people live the exact same life. You could know somebody that can get a job like that, this, that, easy as pie, and then there's another person struggling to even get a job, two jobs, or to find a place where they see if they fit and they think that they fit at, you know. And I feel like people really miss the mark on that. And when I mean spiritual warfare, go back to that, throw that into this topic too. A lot of the older generation is like, oh, it's easy. Just do this, 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 and this. And that works for the baseline for some people, not for everybody. But that works for the baseline. But then what about when they get past that? What about when they're in that workplace and they're dealing with people that always have something to say about them? Everybody's brain processes things differently. So not everybody is going to be able to just, oh, you don't matter. You're just another person. I'm not going to take what you say to heart. Not everybody's going to be able to just, what that man says, he says, the arm versus shoulders. Everybody can do it. And that's just the best. Not everybody will be able to just brush it off or let it go or let things slide. Some things sometimes thoughts consume people. Let's really be honest about it. And I think a lot of our parents and grandparents don't really necessarily understand that because they are the first ones where that does happen. And a lot of them wouldn't believe that. Like, oh, I'm just your family. I'm not. People hold their family in high regard unless you don't have family or unless you've already understood and accepted that your family treats you like trash and you don't hold them to that. But a lot of people hold their family to a very high regard in life, meaning the comments you make about their success and the failures of your children, grandchildren, that sticks with them. That doesn't go away overnight. It's not something they just, well, I'm still gonna, that doesn't always leave them. You know, sometimes people identify as Christian or this, that, and they try to shove, I'm going to say it in this way for this purpose, shove God down your throat. Now, the way I present it is just as an opportunity. I'm not going to tell you you have to. I'm not going to tell you you need to. Hey, would you like to know about God? Hey, you do have someone who cares about you. You have something that within you that is from somewhere other than this plane that you live on at this moment. But when I get to talking like that, people are like, man, you just talking, man. You don't know what you're talking about. And maybe I don't. Or maybe I have a little bit of a different understanding. And so when I get into this warfare side, you know what a succubus is. People know what stuff like that is. People that are so obsessed with sex that's all they focus on, or they're constantly having sex with different people of different creeds, colors, and followings. And what people don't agree with, and I'll say it again because I moved back to college, I lost a few friends for saying this, sex is deeper than just having sex. And I don't see where people got lost with the art of that and thinking that, oh, I'm just fucking, no, bro. You are blending your DNA and your spirit with another. The two become one. That was the initial purpose of doing this in the first place. And now, people seem to just not care. Like, I just want to have fun. I want to be young, or what many men tell their nephews or their sons. Man, go out there, man. Go do your thing, man. Go get you some. Like, you don't know what that's gonna do to him or him or him. That's why a lot of people are unnecessarily angry or sad or feel dejected. It's not always coming from them. Remember how you were before you started doing all of that. Not everything you feel is coming from you. Not all of your emotions come from you. Some may come from your past. Some may come from others you've engaged with, because the more you're around a person, the more that you adapt and kind of become like those people. What's that quote I'm trying to think of? Give me your 5 closest friends and I'll show you your future. Even someone like me, who I don't believe that I'm the greatest person in the world. I'm no saint. I'm sinner just like the rest of y'all. I make my mistakes. I fall. I just come into addictions and fruits. I lose an addiction. Whether it's alcohol, whether it's weed, whether it's some vape, whether it's cigarettes, whether it's Black and Miles, no matter whether it's sweets, like no matter what it is, anything damn near could be an addiction. This what you're looking at right now, this video could be an addiction. And realizing that in the grand
Getting
scheme
low
of
on
things, like
ammunition.
you need to know when to put some space in between you and certain things in your life. Like, I don't smoke weed anymore. Just be honest with myself about it. I don't. Small story with
I
that.
like it rough, but
Hanging
not
with
that
friends,
rough.
went to the park, smoked a little bit, grabbed some food. Then they also gave me any to take home. And I took that, and then like maybe like 30 minutes to an hour later, I was having
Oh,
the worst
sure, you
panic attack. And I've
grow,
never
but you still cannot
had a
have any
panic attack
vodka.
except when my grandfather passed away in 21. 21. I gotta get it right. I'm sorry, bro. My brain jumping through the
It's
top
that
here now.
clicking
But
again. Oh, ammo.
except when he passed, is when I had my last panic attack, and that was, I believe I was just mad at the world at the time. The relationship wasn't the best.
Boom. You are
Hopping
dead.
in college, out of college, my brain was not in that university classroom. Like there was a lot going on behind the scenes that I didn't really discuss because when it came to family, it wasn't really no conversation. It was like, well, this is what you have to do because X, Y, and Z. It
Nikolai
wasn't no,
cannot
well,
die.
what's
Pay the
going on? Like, are
bribes.
you okay? Is something bothering you? Did
Die,
something stop you
Satan's
from doing
minions.
this? Like, it wasn't really that kind of support that a lot of people are looking for. Right?
Hey, where is all
But
the ammo at?
in any case, to get back to where I was at. After
Oh,
having
so
that panic
I
attack,
have vodka for
making a
you.
couple phone calls, it was just more so my mental state was not in a great place. But we've gotten better. You know, I think at the time I
Die,
had
demon spawn.
some was going on at my job, good things at home when I say after his passing, and I was not in the greatest place. So after when I had the second panic attack, I had to take a step and realize, what am I doing this for? What am I running from? What am I not addressing? What am I not
I got
dealing
tar in my
with?
mouth.
You know, I had to ask myself those questions. And
Why am I so heavy now?
you know, there's a way. There's a way is this saying?
Oh, it's the ray gun.
Neither. It was the fact of the matter that there were things I was not addressing in my life because I didn't feel good. Now I'm never gonna seppuku. I'm never gonna do that because that's not something that I would do. And if anyone ever say that that's what I did, you know something not right. But I digress. I'm saying now just so somebody's aware.
Now that's what I call
I was still writing.
goulash.
You know, being a guy who wants to do music, who wants to do YouTube like I do now, who wants to stream more actively, eventually get back into art and do animation, because I have a whole anime sitting in my head planned out that I've done slightly, like a whole video game concept, three
Either I'm
different,
surrounded or I'm
not a
safe
live
now.
service game, but like multiple within one, if that makes
Nikolai
sense.
is
And then people
coming
make a
for
separate
you.
ID for a shooter, a separate one for a fighter. Like I'm thinking
See
a
what
fighter,
happens when you touch
then like
Nikolai.
maybe like 3-4 months later, the shooter gets added. Then like maybe 2 months, 3-4 after that, the like I guess kind of open world horror type of deal gets added. You know, but and enough about that. Some dreams and visions that you have are given to you by God. There's some thoughts that Aaron and the doubt and the worry and the questioning and it
They
is
were here.
some people's
Now
dreams
they're
harass
not.
them every night. It's
Such
not
is
always that.
life
You
in
know,
the
sometimes
die
people's
fucker.
dreams and passions are the things that sit in their head every night before they go to bed. These are the things that they constantly think about, that they constantly worry about. That because someone told you there's no money in this, or you can't make it doing this, or you can't do that, that they don't try to do, that they don't pursue. I feel like sometimes family seems to not understand that God can have a different path for your child or your nephew or your grandchild. And you may not get that. You may not like that. You may not understand why they do the things that they do, but trust and believe that there's a reason as to why. So sometimes you need to learn when to let go of certain things. And this is why I started with the spiritual warfare party, because you gotta understand when there's more at play than what you're being shown.
This is a classic.
Whether you're dating that girl or that guy, whether you're around those friends or these acquaintances, whether even sometimes dealing with your own family, there are
Let's stay
certain
healthy.
spirits at play. Alcohol is called spirit.
Why am I always
It's called
needing more
spirit.
ammo?
So people seem to just gloss over that. Oh, I just want to drink. I want to have a good time. You never know where it's going to take you. Depending on how much you choose to consumption. I like that. I just went to that. Even when it's weed, some people are fine when they're high, giggly. Some people are quiet, but some people overthink when they're high, and some people make reckless decisions. Every substance affects everybody differently. And sometimes you are called to drop something while someone else can do it every single day because they don't have the mind that you have. They weren't given the spirit that you were given, and they don't have that understanding that you have. So we're gonna loop back around to the God subject because I really like to talk about that. God will sometimes put things in your life for your betterment, and sometimes you will be tested to see if you are ready for even greater things. Sometimes God wants to see, are you going to give me my crop? Are you strong enough? Do you believe enough to continue even when you can't see through the fog? Are you going to keep trying, or are you going to find an excuse to let it all go? You've been brought through so many things in life, and we don't even think about it that often.
Why has no one tried
We
nailing
think
this down?
what's right now is killing me, but
Salute!
sometimes you've been through way worse, and you just don't give yourself the flowers that I've survived this. I can survive what's coming next. Sometimes you sit there daily and sit in mess, clothes, trash, drink bottles, whatever the case may be. And I'm just glossing over certain things because try to speak on what I know, what I've been through, what other people may
Why am
have
I
been
so
through and
heavy
dealt
now?
with. I never try to tell you something if I don't know or if I have not experienced it
Oh,
myself.
it's
I
the
usually try
ray
to leave it
gun.
alone. So, to get back, sorry, to get back to where I was going, a lot of us on the younger side see the world for what it is, and a lot of us are inherently spiritual individuals. We have an understanding of something being man-made concept, something controlling you deeper than what you realize. And there are times in life where you have to take a step back from even that, because too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. When your mind is too much in the spiritual, you're not hearing the physical. If you're too much hearing the physical, you're not even contemplating the spiritual. I feel like people don't understand or think about how their actions can come back on them in different forms. It's not always going to be the same way that you treated somebody. Let's say you took advantage of somebody.
Either I'm surrounded or
You may
I'm
not
seeing double.
deal with it in that aspect again, but you may lose that job. You may lose that car. You may
Nikolai is
have an issue
coming
come
for
up
you.
with your job. There's a way as to where life has a funny way of coming back and giving you a dose of medicine in a different fashion that you were not prepared for. I treat everybody with kindness until you give me a reason not to, because you do good. Good does come back to you. It may take some time. It may not be instantaneous, and some people walk with the expectation. Sometimes you'll get nothing until years later. You may get that break. You may get that phone call. You may get that random text. You make
They
it
were
that random
here,
person you meet.
now they're not.
Maybe a
Such is
coworker,
life in the
maybe an
Aye.
old friend, maybe someone you just met at the coffee shop and you didn't know it was gonna go that way. It doesn't always have to be in a relationship basis. Could be anything. But I feel like the whole object of this is to let it flow. Not saying you don't participate, not saying you just wade in the water and wait and you just float along, but let it flow. Let it come from within. Don't stifle yourself, your voice, your gifts because someone else can't handle it. Don't limit yourself because of excuse me, how it makes others feel or how others may come for you or jealousy or anger, greed, gluttony, lust. We know the
Stay
seven
away
deadly
from my
sins. We done been
vodka.
over that.
Blood is a
Y'all gotta
classic.
tell me that. Y'all know already. Many of these things can arise out of a person. And this is
To
why they
him
say
the
you need to learn a
glory.
person
Let's
every
stay
season of their
healthy.
life through the good times, the bad times,
Why am I
not the
always needing
trouble,
more ammo?
not the goodness, confusion, and the whirlwind is hitting them when they're in the center, the eye of the storm. I'll put it like that. You have to be diligent and be ready for anything and everything. But you can't, because life in and of itself, you can try your best to prepare for, stock up food, stock up food, water, you can have the best car, everything in good condition, and then just like that, something
If
goes
only
wrong.
I had time to piss on you
Car
too.
breaks down, brakes fail,
I've got
house
more
gets
for
burned
you.
down, food goes bad suddenly.
Just what the
Sometimes you wonder what
doctor
people pray
ordered.
over their food. Have you seen what they put in our food, dog? I mean, come on, no. Have you seen what they put in our food, our air fresheners, clothes? Not even the clothes. Do you know what they feed you? Have you realized what they give you? You could get that new car, have a mode of transportation. Think you want to up, and then suddenly you out driving, chilling, listening to music, going down the street, and boom, car wreck. Well, boom,
Why has no one
pull
tried
over, your
nailing
car
this
won't start,
down?
battery dead. You
Salute!
never know what life is going to throw at you, so you cannot sit there and stress over everything being perfect, linear, because that's just not how it works. But let me dial it back a little bit and finish what I was talking about, because I just went to so many different topics. For we battle not against flesh and blood, but spirits and principalities. I like that verse a lot because I've dealt with it in my own life. I've seen and been through some things that people won't believe, don't believe, and it doesn't bother me because I know that happened to me. I didn't forget that day that I was being pulled out of myself. I'll leave it as such. I never forgot it. I don't
What's
forget the
that
stories my
smell?
parents tell me of the
Maybe I
doctor
should.
saying that he's not gonna make it, or he shouldn't have. They NICU for 3 months after being born. I don't forget the panic attacks where I felt like I was dying because everything was hitting me at one moment.
You know how to
I
say
don't forget
owned
about the
in
times I've been
Russian?
around the wrong people
Owned!
and the wrong situations pop up. I stayed knowing I shouldn't have been there. Or I stayed around people, talking to people, knowing in a sense our time was up together. The reason I'm even opening any of this because I feel like at some point someone has to talk about these things. If you go about life every day talking about, oh, the game on, oh, Chris Brown did this, the Migos did that, or oh, this new game coming out, and this new thing coming out. When you get lost in this world, you really lose yourself in this world, attaching to shows, places, movies, anime, people, games, activities. You make something your personality, you miss the mark a little
Explosives
bit.
make things so
People are
much easier.
multifaceted. They like multiple things and never just one specific thing that somebody's interested in or like. I miss so many shots of God.
That was
You know,
satisfying.
just like when they say somebody has a type of woman that they like. You think you know your type until your type show you that you
Hey,
just
look
not
what you're
really your
doing to the
type.
floor. He's crawling back to
Or you
me,
think you
just
know
like good
your
woman.
people until someone shows you they're not part of your people.
Stand up and say that
Or
to
you
my
think you know this
face.
friend and that they reside on this side until they show you that they don't even know themselves well enough to have told you that in the first place. So to end this off, nobody is perfect. Nobody has it all the way
Die, you
down
filthy
100%
creature.
together. Nobody can hand you the
It
keys and say
pains me
here,
to kill you again, comrade.
but God can show you the way to obtain those. But are you listening? And what I mean by are you listening is
It pains me to kill you again,
that
comrade.
in the silence, in the midst of darkness,
Die, you
I
filthy
can still
creature.
see. Maybe not these two, maybe you can adjust to the darkness. Even in the midst of that, light eventually finds its way in. The two are together through eternity. There is no light without darkness. There is no darkness without light. You cannot know good if you have never known evil. You cannot know what a good person is if you've never known what a bad person is. And nobody's inherently good. It's a choice to be good. It is a choice to be understanding. It is a choice to be. You get my drift? No. Well then, you know, think about
They
it.
are trying to fetch our souls
But
again.
to sum this up, because it's been 37 minutes, I did not plan on talking this long. I thought it was gonna be like 10, 15. I've been talking for 37 minutes straight. But that's kind of how you can tell I haven't talked a lot recently. I don't really say too much
Die,
no more.
demon
But
spawn.
on something like this, I feel like I just wanted to get this out. Um, in closing, I'm gonna say a couple things. Love yourself, the individual that God made you to be. I'm not gonna say human, I'm gonna say individual. We were all made different.
It is happy hour.
Height, shape, sizes, muscles, density, metabolism, DNA, blood, whatever. You may take some traits from your parents, some come from grandparents, some come from this person. You gotta understand that you are a makeup of not just two people, but your bloodline. You are a makeup of something much more deeper than what you see with these two eyes. And I feel like people
More
don't
bullets, more
discuss
drinks.
that, they don't
This is
think
not
about
so
that. They
bad.
just, oh, well, I'm struggling right now with this, and this, and
Not
get all that.
touchy.
And you're probably
I have
going to
issues.
struggle, and that is a part of the journey. Finding a way out of the struggle, keeping your prayers high, and continuing on to this journey. Because if you don't, you could succumb to some very, very things you're not prepared for. I don't mess with tarot. I don't mess with worshiping crystals because a lot of crystals are man-made, to be honest. It's rare that you find natural crystals unless you're literally out there finding them yourself. It is very rare you're going to go to a shop and, oh yeah, I want this. You were given a power
Stay away
internally
from
that
my
few
vodka.
understand, and yet
Wow, this
we
is a
give it
classic.
away. Whether it's that person going to church every Sunday,
A
I pray to
weapon like
God, I
this will
worship
end them
God,
in a
and then they turn
hurry.
around and you know what they doing behind closed doors, but they still claim to be of God. Just because you are saved does not mean you continue going down the path of darkness, because let that darkness get to be too much. Be
You
gone from
are
me, I never
dead.
knew you.
Die,
And I don't
slime
think
thing.
everybody else is
Die,
thinking so.
die.
Some people don't really seem too concerned about it. And I say that is your business. but I know where I want to end up when I'm out of here, and I know the people that I'll be looking for behind those gates. And I think that is a very important thing that I've never really discussed.
You got slime on my uniform.
Once I'm not here and the Lord has called me home, there is a list of people that I would love and would pray to see behind those gates to make it to that place. And some people,
This
you have to
little girl
understand
in
that
the
not everybody
gates.
that you
It's a
become
sign of
accustomed
bad
to, that feel like
behavior.
that you're friends with or dating, are going to join you after this life, and that is okay. The hardest part about this journey is letting go. Old habits, old feelings, unresolved traumas, unresolved this, that, and third. The hardest part about life is letting go. You're not gonna be here forever.
Greedy
Yes,
capitalist
you have
dogs,
time
give
to
me
figure it
ammo.
out, but you don't have time. They have us so concerned and consumed with a clock and months and dates and that you panicking because everything got to be a specific day. You got this day, you got this next week, this next month, this. Slow down. Don't rush
Don't
when the
slip in the
current
slime.
is at its light. What do I mean by that? There is no quick path to life. There's no quick path to success. You see some people blowing up and this and say, oh, I want to be like that. You don't want to be like them. You don't know what they did to get there. You don't know what they had to deal with these people going on to.
Keep moods,
And
hell
the devil
pigs.
works in the details. And trust me, a lot of the people that you probably look up to, you don't want to know. You may know because the information is prevalent in this day and age especially. But you don't know what they have to do. You don't want to know the contracts they had to sign, the rituals that they do. You don't want to do that. You don't want to open any more doors unless it is of the light you're learning. You don't want to open doors to things that you are not prepared to handle and you don't know how to deal with. But I'm gonna cut it
Why is
because
no
it's
one
been
caring
so
about
long
my
to be
lack of
talking.
ammo?
And I love y'all.
A shotgun.
I wish y'all
Now
the
I
best
just
along
need the
y'all
shot
journey,
glass.
whatever that may end up being for some of y'all. I pray that you find your way. Whether you're a child, an adult, teenager,
Slime thing.
older
Die,
individual,
die.
pray that some light is shined upon you so you may continue to find the right way to get through this journey we call life. Desync out of here.